Welcome back to Dumb, Scum, and Villainy, a Dum-Dums and Dice podcast where professional voiceover artists and improvisers explore the underworld of this Star Wars Edge of the Empire role-playing game. I'm your host, Blotto the Toydarian. This series features our Game Master Tom McGee, Ryan LaPlante as Abraxes Brash Korr, Tyler Hewitt as Vic Denbar, Guy Bradford as N-Gage 311, and Adam McNamara as the forgetful psychopath Wakka Wakka Fonzie. The gang's ship, the Wee Baby Seamus, is crashed into the planet. Brash steered the ship to crash into the enemy forces to make an ally of two cups. Serpentos told the crew N-Gage had killed the hackers. Vic saved Brash and discovered he was force sensitive, and N-Gage and Wakka are hurtling towards each other, determined only one can survive. There, you're caught up, so get out of my shop or spend money. No credits, only money.
Vic, growing up, you'd always been told that you were a very special boy.
Yeah.
Your parents always told you, no matter what the circumstance, no matter how badly you fucked something up, that you were a very special boy. Failed at school, that's just because the school it's just a weird school. What's wrong with this school? The school just doesn't work. Crashed your first airspeeder, it's fine. They shouldn't have put all those buildings in the way. That's on them. If they were smart, they would have built those buildings around where you wanted to go. So as you grew up, you just kind of knew in your very core that you're a very special boy. And so as the Wee Baby Seamus burns in wreckage behind you, and you look at your friends who you didn't actively grab, you realize that, yeah, you truly are a special boy. You're one of those Jedi people everyone talks about. Yeah. Fuck yeah. And then you hear a voice in your head go, hey, sorry about that. My guy was kind of unconscious, so I lent some of my power to you, apprentice. You are not in any way a special boy.
Well, excuse me?
I don't know if we've properly been introduced. I live in this lightsaber.
Yeah, no, you're the voice of the laser sword.
Yeah, that's me. So, listen, it seemed like we were all going to die, and Look, I gotta tell you, as an apprentice of the Sith, you will probably need to try and kill him at some point. Darth Jedi must fall so that Darth Joey may rise. But I didn't want to be incinerated, so kind of lent you some power.
You live in the laser sword?
Yes. My soul is bound to this evil artifact.
So hold on a second. It's an evil artifact?
Look, I'm just saying that's what people call it. I just called it my backup lightsaber back in the day. But, you know how the media is. Galactic media, always spinning lies about dark emperors.
I guess that's true. All right, so what do we do now?
Well, I mean, it would seem that your master is unconscious. Perhaps either wake him up or strike him down, although I don't really think you're ready for that.
I mean, I can be convinced.
Cool. I guess you just have to...
Yeah, this is weird.
Oh. Okay, sorry, I'm a little bit rusty. Yeah, I must admit, even in life, most of my friends were just spooky characters in red robes who just hang out near me.
Do you talk to Brash a lot?
Yes, we get on quite well.
Has he told you that your voice, like being in the head, is extremely grating? Is there anything you can do about that? Can you take like a lozenge or I don't know? All right.
There are no lozenges in the Sith.
It sounds like it sucks.
It's not the best.
I'm looking down at this guy who's supposed to be my master, which, I mean, I don't know how that happened. There was no vetting process. I wasn't involved in this decision-making process.
Destiny picked you, non-special boy.
Okay, you got to stop saying that, because that is starting to upset me a little bit, if I'm being honest.
Good. Use that anger.
All right. And I throw the lightsaber. Just hawk it into the woods.
Sure. All right. So with that, you kind of look down at your companions. So the good news is almost everyone got off the ship in time. You've got with you Nyx. You've got the Trojan Gronk with Sterling inside. You've got Gungan Ramsey. And of course, you've got your bestest bud, sort of not really, vague enemy, Brash. But Vic, you realize that one person that you've come to rely on quite a bit did not make it off the ship. Because, you know, your hands, now that they're empty of a lightsaber you threw into the bushes, are
instinctively reaching for that drink.
Yeah, there's no Dagobah mudslide at hand. Where's Dibs?
Where's Dibs? I say out loud. I was like looking around like, I won't actually ask it first. I'll just say, Dibs? Where's Dibs?
And then you hear a very sad, sweep, sweep. And you look to the wreckage. And with his one remaining arm, you see Sweep Sweep dragging Dibs out of the fire. They've had a really complex relationship off screen this whole time that really no one's talked about. So Sweep Sweep pulls one more time, and then just kind of you see him collapse, and the light goes out in his eyes, and you see the charred husk of Dibs. So I feel like you've seen you've probably broken enough robots in your time to know that. If you can dig the central processor out of these guys, you could probably plug it into something else later. But both of these robot bodies are toast.
Okay.
Metal toast.
Also, we're in a war zone.
Yes, there is still a war going on, but also this is Vic. I feel like it's
this
very
is my Vietnam
tunnel vision.
moment. Yeah, this is. Yeah, we're in the middle of a fight like guerrilla warfare, and I'm leaning over my two comrades, being like, Dibs, and the sweeping one, come on, wake up! And I'm like, I try and pry open their charred chassis to get at the processors.
Cool. Yeah. So I'll let you do that without rolling because I think it's easy enough. So you rip open their little tiny robot bodies and pull out the processors. When you reach into a pile of circuit boards that used to be your best friend's face, you'll know what to do. So you grab their CPUs, and then slowly the sounds of the action around you begin to kind of come back in stark reality. You see Sterling still kind of wearing a Gronk droid body, trying to like shake Brash awake. And Gungan Ramsey just has a knife in each hand, and he's like trying to cover everyone. Admittedly, no one's actively attacking you right now. The assault on Tutu Cups' like Scarface Villa is fully underway and distracting most people. But yeah, what do you do?
I'll go over to the group and say, all right, my second in command is out of commission here. Nyx, you're being promoted, field promotion. Can you handle it?
Yeah, I think so. What does it entail?
It entails reminding me what we were doing here. It was a diamond heist, right? We were trying to get the diamonds. Yes, that sounds right to me.
If it will spur you to action, yes. The diamonds are inside that mansion.
Excellent. You two, and I gesture to Gungan Ramsey and Sterling and say,
I was going to say, I think you just think Sterling's a Gronk droid. Did I tell him? I don't think I did.
I feel like, so we clarified that Sterling has to be like crouched over when he's in Gronk mode.
So he may be
fully standing. So there's just like an embarrassing amount of boxer
legs
brief
out
and
of
then legs,
yeah,
Man.
and arms. Like
Brash is asleep, but he'd be very displeased.
I'll gesture to them and say, you two, pick up Brash, try to get him awake, but we got to get out of here. We got to get to those diamonds. Clock is ticking, I think.
And Sterling just goes, fucking Gronk, I suppose. Gronk.
That's the spirit. Everyone
Gronk.
can learn a lesson or two from this Gronk droid.
Gungan Ramsey's like, bloody hell, suppose we're just doing this now. And the two of them start to get Brash up on his feet. Meanwhile, Serpentos, Ultra Magnus, you have been the last thing you remember is seeing your hated pseudo dad N-Gage 311 flying through the air at you, and then there was a massive explosion.
Oh no!
You come to being kind of dragged away from sort of into the woods. The woods are on fire now, by the way, because of N-Gage's re-entry vector.
Right.
So you're dragged into you wake up kind of a little bit away from the wreckage of the ship and from the mansion. And as you kind of come to, you get all of like the Iron Man heads up display bullshit that's kind of like coming back online. Shatterstar is sort of standing over you, and like her face is just completely like blast scarred, and she just kind of shakes you awake. She's like slapping the helmet, and she's just
and
like,
it's just like dunk dunk. It's just kind of like tipping to each side. Yeah.
Yeah, she like keeps hitting the spiky bits and be like, ow, 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 fuck.
You're not even wearing it. She's just holding it up and you're like, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Yeah, she's doing that the Boba like baby Boba Fett thing where she's just like nudging her head against a helmet. You kind of come to, and she's like, oh, thank the gods. Listen, we're in bad shape here. And then she looks at like the charred remains of her arm. She's like, yeah, things didn't exactly go according to plan on the ship, but I think you got him. I didn't see that robot you're trying to kill escape. But listen, you still got to hold up your end of the bargain. This is twice I've saved your ass. You got to help me kill my sister, or next time you're unconscious, I'll just stab you in your sleep or something. I assume it's going to happen again. So wake up. We got work to do.
All in good time, Shatterstar. But first, in order for me to seek your vengeance, I need to seek my vengeance. We need to split up. I want you to find N-Gage 311 and bring me his head. Keep it nice and safe, because I need it for my secret plan. And while you do that, I'm gonna go find the others and find my precious lightsaber. For Serpentos Ultra Magnus seeks and finds.
Tom, I have a weird question for you, but considering we may all end up fighting each other, we might need to know, where are we all at in terms of wounds and strain?
Yeah, N-Gage got fucked. Like,
He did.
We might cut to N-Gage. Who knows? But I just wanted to ask for those of us who we know what has happened to.
Well, I sincerely hope you've marked anything I've told you you've taken down somewhere, because I certainly have not. I've been too busy building an epic space opera for you all.
I'm at perfect health right now. Like I have 12. I'm doing great.
Yeah.
That's
So
why I thought we might need to update.
yeah. Serpentos, I'm going to deal you 5 damage, please.
Jeez.
From your ordeal of the exploding Wee Baby Seamus.
Yeah, I've got 3 damage marked down on Brash.
Great.
yeah, the last thing I remember, I had 7 health and 5 strain, but that might have been reduced a bit more, especially after this bullshit.
Yeah, I'm going to bump your 7 up to 10 there, guy.
My health is up to 10?
No, sorry, you
had 7 damage or 7 left?
I just remember writing 7 health, so I think it was 7 left.
Oh, okay, great. So drop that down to 4, please.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah, you didn't heal by blowing up the ship with your body as a projectile. I know that's how most video games work, but sadly.
Tweak my memory for a second. I pulled out my little when I darted at him. Did I pull out my little laser sword?
No, you rocket punched. I don't think you have a laser sword.
That's right.
I was also in the ship shooting like the ship weapons at you.
Yeah, we'll get there. It's okay. I just wanted to check the wounds, and we'll hand this back to Tom for narrative purposes. We do not need to debate where we're at.
Yeah. All right. So Serpentos, having sworn vengeance through both the seeking and the finding, you set off in search of the main party, and Shatterstar, like looking increasingly incredulous that she's ever going to get this sweet, sweet revenge she wants, starts making her way back towards the wreckage of the ship. Meanwhile, N-Gage, your systems are slowly coming back online, and you can see. Yeah, I mean, the good thing is you can see. So, like, that's already like that's take one win for old N-Gage. And then you see your arms, and that's pretty good, and your legs, and that's all right. And then you realize that none of them are where they're supposed to be. And even though you're back online, you realize that you are in pieces.
Sure up, what? And then the windows start up from like 98.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit. Well, I hope he's dead. Okay, time to get my pieces and put them back together. Well, wait a tick. How am I gonna pull this off? And then in the little slits where my mouth should be, a little tongue comes out, and I use it to like latch onto the ground and pull me forward, and I keep on going until I get to my arm, and I kind of twist my little torso so the magnetic loop or hoop just attaches to it, and then I just crawl around until all of my pieces are back together.
Excellent.
Is this kind of like that? Remember that
His
one
entire body is magnets.
Remember that one commercial?
Only in the joints.
You know that it's like the robot that lived in Planet Danger, and he's like,
Yeah.
I can put my arm back. Yeah,
You cannot.
Is it that? Is it like Planet Danger tech? Is that
Canadian childhood PSA ad tech?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Which, as we know, even though it doesn't work chronologically, C-3PO is based on Astar the robot. Yes,
That's his name, Astar. I am Astar, a robot from the planet.
Okay, well, let's make sure all these digits work. And he just gives a middle finger on each hand. Yep. Okay. Now where's that little bastard? I'm gonna take his eyes out, and I'm gonna grind them in this little mouth I have, and then I'm gonna my gear intestines are gonna grind them up, and I'm gonna shoot out pennies from my fanny.
N-Gage is really riffing here on this revenge kick.
We
kind of.
I like that the pennies are unrelated. Like he's had the ability to just blast pennies out his ass all along.
No, I thought yes, they're unrelated pennies. I'll keep his organic eyes in my system, but I'll shoot out symbolic pennies from a little coin slot.
Now, Guy, are these pennies the stretched ones you'd get at like some kind of landmark that have like a weird logo of like a train or something on them?
Pretty much, but even more warped, like you actually put them on the train tracks.
Okay,
so
great.
it's all the Palpatots coins that you're just spraying out in like a bent, flattened format.
In a completely non-useful or monetizable way. All right, I like this. Okay, so we briefly smash cut back 50 years ago to a design meeting where there's like a Wookiee and like a couple of humans just standing there sipping calf out of calf mugs. Star Wars terms, and they're looking down at the design schematics for the gauge unit, and one of them's like, "Do you really think these robots are going to need tongues?" And the Wookiee's just like, "Ooh!" Like, all right, well, you heard Gary. I guess.
Does Gary have a hammer lodged in his head?
No, he's just a Wookiee. He's just a Wookiee. That's what they sound like. And with that, Gary's gift, the robot tongue was invented. The patent was lost 2 years later. Anyway, so okay, so N-Gage, you find your way to the main party. Happily, you arrive before Serpentos and to the site of Brash just sort of coming to. Brash, you awake to the flaming wreckage of the Wee Baby Seamus. Some talk of diamond heists, and N-Gage, who looks like his arms might be on the wrong way, but you're definitely not going to tell him because he seems to be real confident in it.
Okay, and then I reach for my lightsaber, and I don't find it. And that immediately leads to panic that he's going to have to hide because now he thinks he can die, whereas maybe he couldn't die when he had the lightsaber. And he's like, hey, so has anybody seen Shirley's latest cylinder that's about... I hate being unconscious. Okay, cylinder is maybe a foot or so long, speaks in an evil British dialect.
Oh, man. Yes. Yes, I have. I got rid of that thing. It was nasty and mean.
When you say got rid of, what do you mean by that?
I mean, I threw it in the woods.
All right, I'm going to be back in just a moment.
And Brash just turns and walks into the woods to go find his lightsaber.
So Brash, you enter the woods. The woods are still burning. And again, for the sake of us tracking this, there is still 100% of war zone happening in and around you. Let me see what you can use to try and find this lightsaber.
The Force.
I was going to say, the Force?
Like a force metal detector.
Ryan, can you roll me we'll just go with straight perception. So perception cunning, difficulty 2. I'll give you a boost dice for the Force.
Dope.
Being awakened and such.
I would like, do we have any destiny points, Tom?
Oh, I haven't rolled those for you yet. Okay, give me one moment.
It's a new session, dear listener or viewer, so we get to roll destiny points again.
All right. So there are 4 light side points and 2 dark side points. So you have 4, I have 2.
Great. And we only are allowed to use 1 per thing, right? Because that's prevented us from becoming monsters.
That is correct.
Great. I will use
say
1.
it's prevented us.
It's limited our monstrosity. That is 2 failures and 1 advantage.
All right.
Yay!
So as you cast about for the lightsaber, reaching out with your feelings, you all you can feel is like a glow coming off Vic, and it seems like it's fading. But with some degree of horror, you realize that he was like charged up by someone. I'm a firm. This is such a stupid thing. I'm a firm believer in the idea that like Han Solo could be a Jedi if he just believed, and like luck is the Force. So I don't want to imply that like Palpatine's lightsaber magically jacked up Vic on like super juice. More so that it just amplified the, in the classic a parent moving a car to save a kid kind of way, amplified his will to a point he was able to do it. But there is an afterglow there, Ryan, that suggests that he may be more powerful than Brash has considered. But so that distracts you a bit from trying to find the lightsaber. That is until you hear the, as the books always describe it, snap hiss of the blade igniting, and you find a red blade at your throat. Clutched in the trembling hand of Shatterstar, who just says, "Oh, hi, former boss. Really turned Nix away from the cause. That wasn't great, but I'm sure Agrippa will forgive all when I bring her your fucking head. You can call me Darth Mechanic, because I'm a mechanic and a Sith Lord now."
Here's the interesting thing, Darth Mechanic. Every Sith Lord, from what I've learned, needs an apprentice. Clearly, you have the power now, but have you considered taking on someone who understands the true power you now wield? So I'll respect it. I'll never betray you, and I will protect you from anyone deadly who's coming your way. I can be a real... and he just like flips his top knot back over his shoulder, and he's like, friend to those in need. And I'd like to hit her with my full pheromones with this attempt at charm.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to give you a difficulty of 3 because she's pretty injured and also clearly has a Sith Lord in her head now, and like not exactly in in the mood for romance. And then I'll give you 1 blue for understanding the Sith lore better than she does, which actually kind of helps you sell this bullshit.
Awesome. And I will spend a destiny point as well. Because Brash is meant to have this goddamn Sith power. He will not let it go, because then he could die. That is 4 successes and 1 threat.
Okay. It works very well. And she goes, yes, an apprentice. Darth Apprentice. You shall join me, and together we shall rule the galaxy. And as she's saying this, like the lightsaber is like out to the side, and she's like grandly gesturing. She's like, together we will rule the galaxy as mechanic and guy she used to work for. What do you do? Are you trying to grab the saber, or are you just going to like literally serve her as an apprentice?
I think I'm going to serve her in the short term, because then I can let her be in charge, and then I'll probably just shoot her at some point. But right now, he's not ballsy enough to grab it because he knows the Emperor could probably read his mind because he's been in there. So he can't plan a betrayal other than generic betrayal. Cool.
So she says, come, Darth Apprentice, let us go find my sister in Agrippa's compound. And she starts striding towards Tutu Cups' mansion.
I mean, okay, yeah, we're doing it with the Tutu Cups thing. This makes a lot of sense, Master. And then I bow, and I don't like it, but I do it, and then I follow.
She's like, you can skip the bow thing. That seems unnecessary. My arm really hurts. What's that? Powers that some people would consider to be unnatural. Eternal life. Immortal. Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. I'm not so pissed about the arm thing anymore. Apparently I can get a robot one later. They just put it right on over this, and she holds up her like fucked up arm. She's like, oh, also, you don't care about the rest of the crew, right? You're good just letting them go?
Well, I mean, I care about one of them a great deal. I'd really like to make sure that he's going to be okay. Thoughts on that?
I mean, look, this place is a war zone. I just want to get inside Tutu Cups' place, grab those codes that you idiots were after, get a ship, and go fuck up Agrippa's place. But, I mean, I guess we could bring one more.
Yes, I mean, the other thing is we also need the money that is stored inside of N-Gage to be able to get the information we want from
shit, all right. I was looking for that guy anyway. You know the guy who used to be Wakka? He's like evil now, Serpentos?
Yes, well, vaguely.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, he wants N-Gage's head, so I guess we should just go get that, and then we've got a bargaining chip if we meet Serpentos again, and then we just give N-Gage to the Gungan guy, and we can just go. Does that sound right?
But I thought Serpentos was Wakka's dad, and they were friends.
Honestly, I'm just a mechanic and a Sith Lord now, I suppose. I spend most of my time fixing a bike. I fixed that same bike about 5 times now. It's been my whole function on our entire adventure. And now it's my turn to shine. Me, fan favorite character Shatterstar.
Is it? Wait, I'm remembering something from the cockpit of the ship. Didn't N-Gage kill all the hackers or something that Serpentos told me?
All the hackers are dead. Yeah. That's how I came into my dark power. That was me, actually. I did that. I'm a Sith Lord now.
Mm-hmm. Well, so you killed all the hackers.
Yep, shot them all. Just shot them all on Serpentos' orders. Yep.
On Serpentos' order? This is
back when I was an apprentice, yes, but now I am the master.
All right, then, if you could just... the N-Gage is actually with the others, right back over here.
Oh, good.
I'll follow, and we can
great.
go.
Yeah, all right, let's go. And she just starts marching that way.
Great.
Trying to look as imperious as she can while, like, limping and in, like, totally torched coveralls.
I drop both guns and shoot her in the back. I can't let her near Nyx. She'll kill him. She'll kill my Nyx.
So inside Shatterstar's head, Palpatine's just like, this is going well, I think. You're doing quite well for a newbie. I'm really sorry you don't have any force sensitivity. That would be helpful. Because, you know, force sensitivity, it's good for, like, knowing if someone's going to shoot you, and then suddenly, like, she just takes the 2 shots to the back, slumps to her knees, and collapses, and just in the dead emptiness of her skull, Palpatine's like, hello?
Oh.
Hello?
Oh, no.
Did we lose connection? Hello? Ah, crap. And then, Brash, you pick the lightsaber back up.
Ryan just killed Adam's favorite NPC to protect his favorite NPC. There will be blood.
I can think of no more appropriate, final act of this show than everyone murdering each other's NPCs to protect their NPCs.
I didn't want to do this, Shatterstar. I didn't want to have to strike down someone, but I did it for Nyx. And, I mean, really, at my core, also power, let's not lie, but...
Oh, my dude, you're in such good company. I knew this guy once. Totally killed like all his Jedi friends for love. Like, it's great. It's a good. It's cool, man. You're just following the tradition.
I mean,
of the Skywalker.
She did apparently sign on with someone who's just started murdering our crew at random. So I feel like there is a little bit of justice maybe at the core of this.
Yeah, you'll never get a resolution to her side plot, though. That's a bummer.
I didn't know she had a side plot. These are the things you learn. It's just someone who's a little bit more focused on their journey. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we'll bump into her sister or something. She kept talking about her. And then I'll just sort of like walk back to the group.
Great. So you arrive back at the group, lightsaber in hand, and Darth Joey looks astonished that you managed to find it. Because if there's one thing Vic knew from growing up, if you throw something into the woods, you'll just never find it again. It's just gone. There's no way. How would you ever find something in the woods? That's insane.
Nature's wastebasket.
Exactly. That's why it comes from a trash planet.
Yeah.
So the crew is finally back together, but you know that the lingering threat of Serpentos Ultra Magnus looms large. So basically, if you'll recall, Tutu Cups is under siege from a local garrison, as well as a pirate group seemingly put together by Agrippa, who's finally making her power play against him. With your ship gone, you will need a way off-world. You also need to get the codes from Tutu Cups. Now, whether you do that with the money that you stole or by helping him or bringing him with you, completely up to you. But what you know is that he is holed up in his mansion, Scarface style, and is doing a proper last stand. So it's kind of up to you how you want to proceed. However, I will warn you, Serpentos is coming for you. What do you do?
So, friends, having come out of the woods, I do have the lightsaber again. Very good. Gonna live forever. Darth Jedi for life. Here's the other thing. Serpentos has gone evil. He turned Shatterstar and murdered all of the hackers, and apparently was looking to possibly murder and or abandon the rest of us. I don't believe he's dead until I see him dead. What happened with him? I know we're in a war. We also need to get to Tutu Cups. Thoughts on either thing? Serpentos, Tutu Cups. N-Gage, you're looking great. I feel like you made some bold choices with your overall design. And then I just step slightly more into the flickering firelight of the ship, and I just say, it's time for us to figure out what we're going to do. And what the hell is going on?
I feel like Vic knows a fair bit about mansions and their layout.
Safe to say.
Yeah. So, Vic will propose to the team the most likely place for the diamonds to be kept. Because and you know, we got a Gronk droid, a jacked Gronk droid. Look at this guy; he's 7 feet tall. Okay,
Yeah,
he's gonna be an asset.
Gronk, he says, like pouring a martini into the top of his Gronk helmet.
I like this guy.
So, Vic, I have some inside information that may factor into our heist. I looked at Nyx. Is the diamond heist? Is that what we're doing?
Let's
yes,
hear
it's
number 3.
you know that classic diamond heist. I got a field promotion, sir. I mean, no, he's sir, you're not. Anyway, and then he just like winks at you and says, "Yes, diamond heist."
Wonderful. The diamonds are actually no longer in the vault. They're actually in a pouch being carried by Tutu Cups. So we need to get ourselves to the gangster if we want to complete our heist to save your family.
All right. Well, then, if Vic thinks about it, where would he suppose Tutu Cups would be in this mansion? Where would Vic hide in a mansion like this?
Definitely in your massive like office, Mr. Burns style office up on the second floor, presumably with like a sick ass balcony and like a giant wood table. Like basically, you're just imagining your father's study, and it was the room you weren't allowed in, so it's the coolest room.
Got to be where
think
the
of.
diamonds are.
Yeah, totally.
So my dad kept his diamonds. Well, some of them. He had a lot of diamonds. So I like Vic looks at the kind of somewhat on fire mansion and just picks up a stick, draws like a surprisingly accurate like diagram in the mud, being like, he's probably going to be right there in his main office, his study. It's where he probably spends most of his time neglecting his son or whatever. I don't know. I'm going on a tangent here, but that's probably where he is.
All right,
Okay,
so
I'm going to track that map. Okay, I'm going to use my hologram, and then I spray my hologram vision onto the mud, and I pull up a 3D projection of that really crude map.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna use this and put it in my HUD. So now I got a HUD.
So, N-Gage, could you lead the way there and try to bring us around the active war zone battles that we don't actually want to be involved in?
You know, normally I'd say no because I feel I've really achieved everything I've wanted to achieve outside of, reaping vengeance. But I feel there's been a change in me, and I've gone from my chaotic evil to, a very kind and considerate, lawful evil. So yeah, I'll help you. Go, gadget skis! And then I hit my feet together, which are backwards, and the skis pop out. I'm like, yole hee-hoo, let's go. Roll out.
Nyx just very begrudgingly starts pushing N-Gage along the just
In
dirt.
the fucking mud, yeah.
Yeah. And N-Gage, I feel like this is very much like a Washington crossing the Delaware, just in a very heroic pose as Nyx just slowly shoves you forward.
Yeah, and I'm like, over there. But because my arm was on backwards, it's like my finger just pokes Vic in the eye.
Nyx quickly pops your arms off and pops them back on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go steal those diamonds. Meanwhile, Serpentos, you've watched this from the shadows. No matter where Serpentos goes, shadows follow. And you've seen.
I mean, that's true of most people.
Yes, but
There's
also
one behind me right now.
So you come across the body of Shatterstar and continue kind of following the path. Do you? I mean, I think I know the answer to this, but do you stop and mourn for a moment? Do you say any words over your henchwoman's body?
Does she still have her super duper Gatling gun kind of dealy?
Yeah. She was wearing it slung kind of across her hip, but it's pretty fucked up from the fire. She couldn't use it anymore. But I mean, if you're looking for something to install, I would say you could probably salvage a couple of the Gatling cannons to kind of strap onto your not gun arm. If
My
you
little
feel so
pincer
inclined.
arm or
Yeah.
whatever. So I could have a Gatling gun arm and my arm that turns into a fork gun arm?
So think more, because you can't get all the you can't get the entire barrel. Think of it more like basically a gun from Doom. So three barrels, like a shotgun kind of close range blast. But unfortunately, there just isn't enough of the Gatling gun left to make a proper Gatling gun arm.
So it's just a Gat gun.
Yes, a Gat gun.
All right.
A Gat gun, if you will.
So I could so I start to kind of plop on Gat parts onto my pincer arm, and it's poor Shatterstar, you will not be able to see the glory that is Serpentos Ultra Magnus's secret plan. But do not worry. Pause. Are they?
They're far enough away that
okay, all right.
Yeah. No, they're not No, you're.
Well, I thought it would be harder to find him, but he seems to be talking from right over there.
This is a very classic, you're hiding in the woods at distance, and you can see them a ways away, but it's
Okay.
The
Tale as old as
classic
time.
wood hide shotgun arm build. You know?
Yeah, tale as old as time.
Right. I didn't just want oh, there he is, stab in the head, end of story.
I wouldn't do that to you yet.
Oh, spoiler alert. Okay, so then, all right, back to what I was saying. It is a pity that you cannot see the secret plan of Serpentos Ultra Magnus, but alas, I need a sidekick, for that is the thing that I enjoy having. And then my helmet, I kind of bloop, 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 and I punch in some codes, and I go, it is time for your reveal, Explodo. And then the Kano meat suit full of bombs and the little floating droids kind of comes up from the wreck and I installed the resistance box on him.
So the bombs survived the explosion.
Oh, it's in the medical bay, right? So it's encased.
They were in the medical bay. They were in the tannery.
The tannery is just as safe as a medical bay. It is it's like the black box of a plane. It's we got to protect the tannery. We got to protect the medical bay. So it's
I'm
in
curing meats in there. I need those to survive.
The black box is the black box of the plane.
Okay, here's what we'll say. You were storing it in the fridge because the meat was starting to smell bad. Much like Indiana Jones in his greatest adventure, the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the fridge survived. So the fridge door swings open, tossing asunder all the magnets that were on it. And floating out of the wreckage comes Explodo.
Yeah, and he does like a marionette, like a creepy marionette kind of like walk, like marionettes can walk, like, but it's like it's just kind of off, and he has like a little voice box on him, being like, "Hello, Agrippa, it is me, your friend," and it's like this was what Wakka had installed. Yeah, it's like, "I am your friend. I am your friend."
Yeah, so I think that's kind of fun. We'll say he can only speak in phrases that presumably Wakka would have installed.
Yeah.
So he's like, he floats over and he's like, "Hello, friend. I understand you have a great door. Perhaps you could open it for old Kane. Your friend, what? Open the door." And then it kind of like does that like creepy, like its head, like these things are only going to move in like Studio Ghibli Nightmare or like Del Toro ways. So the Kano mask just kind of like completely turns on a 90-degree, and it says, "Agrippa, shall we enter?"
All in due time. The door of opportunity shall soon be open.
Ha 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 ha. Good plans.
Excellent. I picked the right choice for a sidekick. Now, Explodo, because you have those floaty marionette things.
I do.
Good. Everything's going according to my secret plan. I want you to float ahead above our intrepid adventurers and then drop on them, exploding them with your 300 grenade body.
My prime function, explodoing.
Excellent, Explodo. Now, go, Explodo. Go and explode.
In the name of Kano, a character we barely spoke to, you shall be avenged. And then Explodo just begins to float like Magneto style up into the sky.
Excellent. I shall follow below at a safe distance so I don't incur any damage.
As you do so, you also keep your eyes out for potential new sidekicks because you're about to lose this one.
Right.
Okay, great. So the party makes their way quickly kind of across the battlefield. I think I'm going to need some rolls on this to find out kind of how you're doing this. Is the goal to like stealth your way through it like the beginning of Metal Gear Solid 4? Or is it to do the Private Ryan like D-Day sprint where you just run like hell?
Vic would be interested in stealth.
I think we would start with stealth, and if it went bad, it becomes the Private Ryan sprint.
Oh, so literally any situation in The Last of Us. Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, great. So go ahead and roll, please. If each of you could roll a stealth. So that's stealth plus agility.
I don't have stealth, but I have skullduggery.
Gotta be stealth, my dude. There's no skullduggery to be had. This is an active combat zone. So that will just be straight agility for you then, Ryan.
Yep, I got 2 greens as my positive
What's
dice
the
here.
challenge, Tom?
Challenge rating is going to be 2. No one is actively gunning for you guys. It's not like you had specific targets on you, and in fact, you could be mistaken for either pirates or 2 Cup Syndicate members. So it's not impossible. It's more so just like either side could choose to start shooting at you. So 2 purple. You have, I'm going to say, we're going to use 1 story point to justify the creation of Explodo surviving in the fridge. So you have 2 points available to you.
And it's 3 of us rolling.
That is correct.
I'm at 2 agility. You're at 2 agility as well, Ryan?
Yep.
Guy, do you know how much agility you
Do you
have?
have stealth, Guy?
Yeah, let me check my stealth. Okay. It is 2. My stealth is 2.
And what's your agility, Guy?
Okay. 2.
Okay, I think we might want to use a story point each, eh, Tyler?
Yeah.
Okay, so Guy, that's 2 yellow for you, and then 2 purple. For Ryan and Tyler, that is 1 yellow, 1 green.
Yep.
And 2 purple. I'm going to give you all 1 blue boost dice from Sterling running in a full Gronk suit, whispering advice on how to be stealthy to both of you, given that he's like a secret agent and very good at this. So it's a lot of like, no, get down. No, go left. Lana! Sorry, old habits. Let's go.
Sorry, right. I have 2 yellow and 2 purple.
And 1 blue.
And 1 blue. Okay.
Whoa. 3 of my 5 dice came up empty. So I have 2 successes.
I have 1 success, 1 advantage.
Okay.
I have... What is this? I'm getting 2 things. I'm getting 2 successes.
All right.
Right? This looks right.
Yep.
You're good.
2 happy sons. Okay, fantastic. So the 3 of you managed to run at a pretty good pace through kind of ducking and dodging. And like the battle is getting more intense the closer you get to the mansion grounds. Like an air speeder with like a couple of Weequay dudes who are like the guys the like kind of spiky faces and braids, just like firing like mounted cannons at kind of these, again, kind of ill-equipped stormtroopers. One of these speeders gets hit, and you all kind of throw yourselves to the ground as it smashes into the gate, conveniently blowing open a wide hole for you guys to sneak through. Serpentos, from afar, you're observing this, and you can see Explodo's dilemma. It would seem that there's so much fire happening because it's full on G.I. Joe. Everyone's just shooting at a 45-degree angle straight up. That he's like constantly like firing his retro rockets. I'm thinking very much like Baron Harkonnen from Dune, just like kind of like bumpering himself back and forth to try and avoid getting hit.
Okay.
So he doesn't quite have a good drop on these dudes yet. That said, you can clearly see like where if you were a rich person, would hide, a 2nd floor balcony. So Explodo may not be able to drop on them as they run across the field, but he might be able to drop in on them when they find 2 cups. So he's just going to keep tracking them for like the best opportunity to drop. But given that he's made of bombs, he's being very sensitive to not get hit because that would suck.
Right. I also have in my helmet, there's like a little connection to his eyes, so I can kind of like see where he is.
Cool. So yeah, you can see 2 cups kind of moving in this upper balcony area that seems to lead to kind of his big sweeping office. So I think what I'd probably recommend is that Explodo kind of lurks near the window, and then when they rush in, just kind of like float in like Deadly Mary Poppins.
Yeah. Okay. I have him kind of go, and he sits on the roof, just kind of like temporarily.
Just like a weird shitty float.
Yeah.
It's like all right, so he's just drifting there. Serpentos, what are you looking for in a new hench person?
Anyone that will just listen to what I say and be impressed by my many gun appendages.
Gotcha. Okay, so you
Even like a bird or something. Like I'm not picky. Like maybe what are those little those
porg?
Are they called porgies? If they have porgies there or whatever, I'll like.
You're like
just porgs, but I like porgies as a
porgies?
thing.
yeah.
It's
All right.
like smoggies. You have that little bird on your head the whole
Okay.
time.
Well,
Oh my God,
We'll
yeah.
say that 2 cups, as supervillains often do, had a menagerie on site, and the cages have been blown. So there's like a little porg like bouncing along. And then you lock eyes with it, and it locks eyes with you, and then it just does a little porg salute, and hops up on your shoulder, and he's like, "Ah!"
Excellent. That's what I was about to say about my secret plan. Now, come, Porgster. We shall hide safely in the forest and witness when Explodo explodes everybody, and then pick up the pieces to my secret plan.
Excellent. So you make your way into the woods, still obviously keeping an eye on the situation through Explodo. So the team makes it to the edge of 2 Cups' mansion. What's the plan? You're going to try and make it to the front door? You're going to go through a window? What's the...
I'm imagining, like, hey, friends, I'm thinking we just go through whatever seems the most likely to get us shot in. If we got to jump in a window or climb into the basement or open a side door, thoughts? It's just like bullets flying, but he still talks in exactly the same sort of like performative but quiet way.
I think if there's any kind of I think if there's any kind of ventilation system there, that'd be a good place to go in. You know, you don't see a lot of things in vents. Plus, it gives us the whole stealth advantage.
All right, let's everybody look for vents.
Okay.
Doesn't feel like the best plan, but we don't have a lot of time, and we are getting shot at. So vents.
N-Gage, can you roll me, please, a mechanics check?
Okay. Mechanics this is where N-Gage shines. It is, it's +3.
Okay, so you've got 3 there, and then what is your...
Intellect.
Intelligence. Yes, intellect.
4.
All right, so you've got 3 yellow, 1 green. This is a 4 purple difficulty challenge. I'm going to spend a story point to make one of them a red. So that is 3 purple, 1 red. And 3
yellow.
I was going to say, is there any boost from the rest of us looking?
Oh, sure. Yeah. And one blue.
Okay, so I have 1 green, 3 yellow, 3 purple, 1 red, and 1 blue.
That is correct.
Okay, well, let me use these beautiful amber eyes to scan. And I found it. I have 2 successes, 1 triumph, 1 despair. What the fuck?
Okay, so the despair actually and the triumph cancel each other out. So good news, you're fine. You see the vent, and it there's something about how vaguely kind of bent and non-functional it is that just really reminds you of your lost son Wakka Wakka, who was himself a broken vent.
Yeah, he was very hollow inside.
Yeah, but also real cool. So you using your scanning, you do that classic, like in any heist movie where they like spin around a 3D image of a place and are like, so you get the full mapping of the vent system, and sure enough, you're able to find it. So with the help of Sterling using his Gronk body and Gungan Ramsey, who, although this isn't his specialty, is tremendously good at yelling orders at people. You create like a little tiny human pyramid to climb up to the vent. But it looks like only 3 of you will be able to go in. The rest of the party will have to meet you wherever you end up.
Am I picking who goes in, or
I'm going to pick for you? It's the player.
Yeah, the implication is that the player characters will go in, yeah.
The NPCs go in. We just bum smokes outside.
We'll wait outside. Tell him to come get us before we leave.
Yeah, so I will I'll help the other 2 in first, and then I'll turn to Nyx, and I'll kiss him, and I'll just say, stay alive no matter what happens. You and I are going to get through this, and we're going to come out stronger. I love you.
And he says, I love you, I know. Ah, shit, I fucked this up. Sorry, I thought you were going to say something else. But yeah, he just like puts a hand on your shoulder and another one on the side of your face, and he's like, go get that Gungan. And then the 3 of them sort of book it around the side of the building while the 3 of you climb into the vents. Meanwhile, or all the while rather, being watched by the disembodied flesh suit full of bombs that is Explodo. N-Gage, you had a lot of vents installed in your old workshop because the kind of weird genetic tampering you did led to all sorts of truly unpleasant smells, and often the need to vent noxious fumes out into the world. But it also occurred to you after the 3rd time you were attacked in your workshop via vent that vents really, particularly like human-sized vents, really are a mistake and not something worth having. So for you, this is a kind of poetic justice, as you, Brash, aka Darth Jedi, and Vic, aka Darth Joey, are crawling through the ventilation system of Two Cups' Scarface mansion. You feel like, all that hard work and suffering is finally going to pay off, because this guy clearly hasn't learned from the mistakes of your past. So fuck him. So the three of you find yourselves crawling through this vent. You can hear the sounds of battle beneath you as you go. This is a full-on like Metal Gear style vent, where you're John McClaning your way through, and you can hear that the troops have breached the outer gate and seem to be invading the mansion itself. You can hear the Cup Syndicate gangsters fighting back on the main floor. And then finally, and you keep seeing through like slotted vents, like what's going on, and the classic like, oh, things are getting bad down there. You could like press triangle to listen for some like interesting flavor dialogue, and then finally you come to the sort of vent at the top of Two Cups' kind of office. You can see on his desk he's got just a mountain of spice that he's clearly been working his way through. And as you kind of kick out the vent to get the drop on him, you just see him like firing grenades off the balcony back down into his mansion, yelling, "User should say hello to me's a little friend!" And then he just like fires a bunch off, slams both the doors, pushes his hand to a keypad, and you see like massive sort of like metallic arms slide across it. And he goes back over, just takes a fistful of spice, throws it into his face. He goes, "Oh, that's the good shit!" Hooah! And that's when you drop out of the vent into his room. And he turns around with kind of his rapid fire assault blaster rifle. The kinds that Heavy use in Battlefront 2. And he just says, "Oh, it's user guys. You came at a real bad time for Two Cups. Just grab a weapon and kill some guys for me, would you? It would be a great help."
Will do. And then I just like snort up all of the spice.
Oh, hey, well, okay. This droid likes to party.
Yes, we actually made a bit of an entrance, you may have noticed, when the ship crashed into the enemy army. That was us. Hello.
Oh, cool.
Yes, so I understand that you want to perhaps have a glorious last stand here, but I also understand that you may want vengeance, as you've noticed there are forces out there linked with a mutual enemy, Agrippa.
Agrippa the Blue! I want vengeance on her more than I want this giant pile of, most of it's gone. And he just pushes a button and a different vent just blasts spice out onto his desk. And he's like, "Ha ha!"
Round 2.
And he joins you. And he says, "Yes, but my army is falling. We did not expect Imperial reinforcements. But if we have a mutual enemy, if you truly want to kill Agrippa, I kind of wish you'd mentioned that earlier. I would not have sent you on a crazy quest to go get money. Did you get that money, by the way?"
Yes, we did. N-Gage, can you give him the money that we stole from the bank?
Okay, somebody crank my arm. Use it like a lever.
I'll start pumping it like a well.
Here you go, and just all the money starts spurting out my little fanny hole.
Oh, no.
He just raises his shirt and then just kind of like dances under it, with his like firing his assault rifle in the air occasionally. He's like, "Wait, User said you had this money already. Did you go rob a bank for this?"
Well, we had to pick it up from the bank where we had it. It's one of those, it was a roundabout thing. Again, if we'd all known we could have been friends, we wouldn't be here. So here's the thing. You think you need an army to beat Agrippa, but as you may have noticed, Agrippa's army is outside. So what if we just left and then went and killed Agrippa with those codes you have for us? I don't know if you know, but I am a Sith Lord, and this is my apprentice.
And
he partner.
He just like looks at the two of you and he's like, "And And I killed your master, so that makes Misa a Sith too. And you think that's the death of Xanatos.
We love... The one thing they always say is it's about having 3 Sith. That's the key.
Yes, the rule of many.
Yes.
Palpatine's like, no.
In my head, I'm like, I know, but this guy's really crazy, and I need him.
Okay, look, I have dealt with Gungans before. I had one turn the entire Republic into an empire once. It was a good goof.
Okay, good. This one's not so goofy. He's really more murdery. I've seen him shoot a lot of people directly in the face.
Good, maybe? I don't know, just stay safe. I've traded hands a lot today. I'm getting kind of tired.
I'm glad we both feel the same way. Let's not keep doing this you're a new person sword for a while. I'm imagining with this being a wealthy mansion, there's got to be some sort of secret bolt hole with a shuttle at the end of it, Vic. I think you've mentioned those kind of things happen.
That makes sense. Do you have one of those here?
So Two Cups kind of nods and takes like another fistful of spice and then like tosses another one at N-Gage. And he goes over and like opens a giant kind of like whiteboard. And he's like, Weezer use these for brainstorming sessions, often very helpful for figuring out our kind of drug trade and such. And then he like pops a marker. And he proceeds to quickly draw a diagram kind of the escape route. And, there's still like blast fire hitting the outside doors, but he really is quite well secured in here. So basically he explains that, yes, he has a secret hangar not far from here. And in order to reach Agrippa before her army can get back in time, you'll have to fly through Icos, the gas giant. It's a very dangerous journey, but luckily, Two Cups knows the way. He did it once back when he escaped from Agrippa the first time, and he never thought he'd do it again, but it seems poetic justice to go back through it. So basically, in order to get to his hangar, you'll need to like pop out the back. He's got like an escape tunnel under his pool that leads to the launch pad. And he's got a vehicle. It's kind of like a space minivan. Like it's big enough that it'll hold everyone while not being so large that it's definitely smaller than the vehicle that like the Baby Seamus, but a little bit bigger than the Vic Viper. So he's like, all right, so I guess fuck it, I'll just set Misa Mansion to self-destruct and we can go.
Great. Can you just give me directions for how to get to that hangar so I could give it to some friends who are outside? We can't leave them here.
Sure. So he quickly explains that you radio ahead, and all of you kind of get ready to rappel off his back balcony, kind of down. So again, you're on the second floor, so rappel down and then kind of book it for this underground tunnel. Vic, you're considering the dimensions of this room and like how it stacks up against other such cool executive lounges you've seen, and like it's fine. I don't know why he keeps blowing dust everywhere. That seems kind of dumb. But maybe he just doesn't have a sweep. You notice 2 things. One, you notice one of those little mouse droids from the Death Star that's just kind of running around. And it occurs to you that if you put either sweep or dibs in that, it could probably take over its circuitry. Do you think you'd do that, or would you wait for a better body?
I put sweep in there. I need someone with arms for dibs to make me drink still. But
sure. So the little mouse droid's like sweep, and then immediately starts like hoovering up spice from the ground.
Hey, welcome back, sweep. Hey, don't take too long with that. This place is going to explode, and that's going to be a real, honestly, too big a mess for you to deal with.
Sweep. So Sweep stops and then just like rolls up to the side of your foot and is basically just going to follow you around like a dog.
Yeah, and I looked at Vic and I say, the street value of that sweep droid is probably about 5,000 credits right now.
That's it?
Well, I mean, let him draw more up of that spice and we'll see what we can get him to before we get out of here.
Oh, that seems so little. 5,000's a lot, huh? Oh, all right. You guys are funny.
Hey, let's try not attaching any kind of monetary value to my brethren, or else I'm going to have to start poking eyes out left and right, fellas.
Oh, N-Gage, I'm referring to the spice kept inside the mouse droid right now.
Okay.
The mouse droid is worthless.
What?
And with that, you see a jolly figure hover through the window.
Santa!
Yes, Agrippa, it is me, Santa. Knock, knock.
I was gonna say, and immediately start running. Brash is the one person who knows the secret plan of Kano and does not like it.
So yeah, you see Kano's mask kind of balanced against horribly rotted flesh that's been vaguely tanned in the tannery. Nick
sets a bomb.
Serpentos, what do you say through the voice coder as you drift in to get your revenge?
I say, so you all thought that you could sneak away from Serpentos Ultra Magnus. Well, you are fools if you think you can do that. Let me introduce my friend, Explodo. He does one thing very, very well. Why don't you show them what you do, Explodo?
Spoiler alert, the answer is explodoing. Brash, you've got a head start because you started to run. Everybody else.
I was gonna say I would have dragged Nix with me. I think I couldn't leave him. He's my boy.
Nix is with you right now.
Oh, outside. Oh, and screw it. Yeah, I just ran.
Yeah. So
spiritually, I turn and go Nix, and then I realize he's outside, and then I run.
Vic and N-Gage, what do you do?
Oh, so we got Explodo there about to explode all over us. I'm going to shoot some of the spice to create a smoke screen so we can basically run away.
Here we call it a coke screen.
Yeah, a coke screen under cover of dustness.
All right, very cool. So we'll say you do that. That gives you guys a split second to try and get out. Only because Ultra Magnus, I feel like you wouldn't detonate Explodo unless you can't monologue to a cloud.
Right.
So there's just a brief moment of kind of Explodo awkwardly drifting through the smoke, looking around.
Can I pull him out and just put him back on the roof until they go down, and then
Totally. Yeah, great. So as the smoke screen happens, Explodo just drifts away. Says, "Turns out I do two things very well. One is exploding, the other is biding my time." And then he just drifts back out the window.
And then I say, enjoy going down the rope on the balcony. Serpentos is waiting for you.
So then
I have a pork now.
Serpentos, you having overheard where the shuttle is, are also in a mad dash to kind of get there. So as you leave Explodo to do his business, you start making your way to the launch pad as well.
Can I take some shots at the three people below with my blaster to see if I can mess them up a bit?
You're not up there with Explodo. Explodo doesn't have a blaster on him. He is just made of flesh and bombs.
Oh, the three NPCs.
Oh yeah, no, I understand, but they're actually, I guess once they come into view, sure. So the three of them come kind of rushing around the corner, having heard the call. So go ahead and roll me, please. Let's go with ranged heavy and agility.
Ooh. Okay, so my ranged heavy is 2. My agility is 2. That's 2 yellow.
Yep. And we're going to say 3 purple.
Okay. I want to use a destiny point to...
Do we have any?
You had... oh, no. You're at 0. You are at 0. You are correct. There are
we don't have any
points available. No.
Some of us may have spent it on vents to specifically prevent you from having any.
Blast! All right. Fine.
Okay. But otherwise, I'm going to give you 1 boost dice for being able to take your aim. You're kind of expecting them to come running out. They're not expecting you to be in the bushes.
Right.
And go ahead and roll, please.
All right. 2 yellow, 3 purple, 1 blue equals 2 successes, 2 advantages, 2 failures, 2 threats.
So it's a wash.
It doesn't say wash though. Does it?
I mean,
you have 2 advantage. 2
Oh,
threats.
yes. Oh, the end result is wash. Okay, yeah. Never mind. Yeah.
Okay.
I read that.
So
Sorry, my bad.
you go to open fire, and Gungan Ramsey just turns, and Sterling's like, hey, man, come on, what are you doing? And he's just like, Mesa have something I need to do. And he'll just start spinning his knives, and basically just like knocking away your blaster fire. And Sterling's like, "The fuck? You could do that the whole time?" He's like, "Yes, I'm very good with knives." So he just kind of like blasts away the fire, then they all start running, which is hard for Sterling because he's in a Gronk suit.
Blast you, Gungan Ransby, and your recipe of defense. Damn you!
Yeah, it's available on his website and in his cookbook, and also in his branded pots and pans and whatever the fuck else. He's like, "Misa learned this in Hell's Kitchen," a famous Gungan burrow. So they go running off. Meanwhile, so the rest of you are hidden behind the Coke screen, but you're also trapped in the office. You know that Explodo is waiting just outside. So basically, you have the front door that leads to kind of where the major fighting is happening. You also have the vents. What do you do?
N-Gage, you've had an ability to hack things from a distance, and Explodo is a robot. Serpentos appears to be known for many things, but backup plans and self-awareness don't really seem to make the list.
And his engineering sucks shit.
I don't complain about this. Could you hack into Explodo and maybe make him just blow up on the roof where it won't hurt any of us?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and roll me a mechanics check, please. Serpentos, what is your mechanics skill?
My mechanics. Let me check. My mechanics is 1.
Okay.
And mine is 3.
Yeah. So, Guy, you're gonna roll 3 yellow, 1 green, 3 purple, 1 black.
So 1 green, 3 yellow, 3 purple, 1 black. Let's do this.
And weirdly, Adam, would you like to spend one of my destiny points to make this harder for him?
Yes, please.
All right. So that's swap one of those purples out for a red there, sir.
All right. Yeah, hacking. Ho! 2 successes, 1 advantage, 1 despair.
What's your total there, Guy? Do they have one where it tells you like the
Should read
end
underneath
result?
that.
Pardon me?
It'll say the end result if you scroll down from where it just lists all the dice.
It describes them as written, and
Oh,
then it shows
yes.
their
Oh,
symbols and
sorry.
then end result.
Yes. So result is 2 success. Okay. It's 2 successes, 1 advantage, 1 despair.
Yep, that makes sense.
Okay.
Because the despair is like a triumph. It's its own thing.
Oh.
Okay. So, N-Gage, you managed to hack into Explodo, and in doing so, you have a brief moment of communication with Serpentos. What do you say to each other?
You are not my son.
Who is this? Who speaks to Serpentos?
It's me, N-Gage, fella. Remember, I was your daddy Tanner, but not you. Wakka's daddy.
Yes. You're the one whose head I require for my secret plan. Hey, I have an idea. Why don't you give me your head for my secret plan? I can encourage you to do it by telling you that if you do it, you can become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Oh, yeah? Well, how about this? You give me your balls. Psych! You don't got none, Buster!
And then Explodo
Jesus.
bursts into flame. And you just see he explodes. He like blows a chunk off the back of the balcony. And there's just like little raining bits. And Kano's mask kind of clanks off the desk to the ground.
Blast!
All right, so
Fucking Green Goblin reacting to Spider-Man in the golden age of comics.
Says.
there goes my plan. Well, always next week.
Blast!
All right,
Zoons!
so with that, you all leap dramatically off the balcony. With and Two Cups is just like, Misa don't know who the fuck that was, but good work. and the four of you make your way down into the tunnels. So Serpentos,
Yeah, where am I? I'm
yeah, so you're making your way. You're not going through the tunnels. You're kind of making your way through the woods to this launch site. However, when Explodo went, I think it momentarily fried your circuits a bit. So just like you kind of lost transmission. You had to take the helmet off for a hot second just to kind of get your bearings. And you're kind of rushing through the woods to try and get there in the nick of time.
Are there any like vehicles nearby? Like, is there,
sure.
like,
We'll say you find like there's a the equivalent of an ATV, but like a space ATV.
Space TV.
Yeah, so you mount up on your space TV and tear off towards this. So you're kind of like bouncing along through, weaving through the trees. The Porg is wearing little goggles. You're wearing your helmet, and yep, you're making a mad dash. Meanwhile, the four of you meet up with Gungan Ramsey and Sterling and Nix. Sterling is like, Gronk, good to see you. And Tutu kind of quickly points out the space minivan. It would seem that he was kind of underselling this vehicle. This is actually not a bad ship. Looks a little bit like Serenity from Firefly. So like it's still a smallish vessel, but it's got some moves. Sort of top gun, bottom gun, and then kind of sort of a couple of stabilizers at the sides. And Guy, what is the name of this ship?
The name. Oh shit! The name of the ship is the SS Rhinox.
Great. So Tutu Cups is like,
He cannot get away from Hasbro.
he's like, Misa, a big fan of the HoloNet show Beasties.
God.
Because they weren't called Beast Wars
In Canada.
Naboo. So he's like, Misa named this for my first dog, Rhinox. Get aboard! And as you kind of do the classic Han Solo, like run up the ramp, there's an explosion at the back of the space, and you see just an ATV flying through the air, and Serpentos, you've got time to shoot one of them. Who do you aim at? The NPCs are also there. You have free range. Who do you take aim at?
Of anybody?
Yeah. They're all like doing the Han Solo, like running up the ramp thing. So you have a brief moment to open fire. You get the sense they're probably going to get away, but at the least you can probably take one of them out before they do.
Can I okay, here's what I want to do. So I want my space ATV, I'll like jump off of it, and I want that to like ram into the ship so it can try to like maybe bust up the engines or something. And then when I'm like midair, I want to use my fork gun to take out what's his name? Nix? What Nix?
Yep.
Yeah. And so then I'll dive through the air and be like we never really met. I only kind of know you through Wakka, but I know that you are the heart of Brash, and now it's time to bash Brash's heart. Serpentos Ultra Magnus. And then
It's a full like Mega
So much
Man
airtime for that line.
I was gonna say,
oh, I'm like, yeah.
Tom, knowing that he did a monologue before he did it, can I spend a story point to intercept the hit?
Maybe. Let's see how he rolls first.
All right.
So Adam, this is three purple.
Okay. To be fair, I'm saying this monologue as before I jump off. So like I'm like, yeah, and I'm like,
Yep.
I'm gonna ram it into your ship too, and then I'm gonna jump.
I got you. You actually said a bunch of this before you were in the room. Just like, I'm going to drive this into their ship, and then I will shoot one of them because they are the heart, and I will bash Brash's heart.
As I'm driving, it's like my voice gets louder and louder. It's like, we'll go in and Brash's.
Great. All right. Go ahead.
Sorry, what was it? It was a.
So this will be ranged heavy.
Oh, that is 2. So that's 2. Yellow. And then I got my.
What's your agility?
Oh, that's a good question. Agility is 2 as well.
Okay, so that's 2 yellow.
Mm-hmm. And can I use a
2 purple?
Can I use a destiny point because there's one available?
You got. I don't know how you want to do it.
But I used your dark side.
Spent a Tom point, so it's technically now become a hero point.
Yeah.
So I can
Ryan,
use it.
I'm gonna say yes, and then Ryan will talk about what we can do with your jumping.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll just see how this goes out. Now, if I don't got it, then I don't got it. But technically, I'm on the dark side. So we'll see how this goes.
That's a misnomer. I don't know why they assume that the DM is on the dark side, the players are on the light side. They clearly haven't met you guys. All right, so Adam, I'll say you can add an additional green then for your destiny point.
Okay, so I got a green, 2 yellow, 2 purple.
That is correct. And then I'm going to say 1 setback dice for leaping through the air off an ATV. So 1 black.
Oh man. Can I brace?
No. I mean, sure. You know what? You can, but the black dice remains.
Oh, jeez. But right, fine. Okay, so I got a green, 2 yellow, 2 purple. I brace, but they're still black. All right. Badoom. Ooh, 3 successes, 1 threat.
What's the damage on your weapon there, sir? On the fork gun?
Ooh, fork gun. Heavy fork gun looks like 7.
Okay. Brash, you begin to run to leap in front of the blast. And can you roll me, please, we're going to go with athletics.
Alrighty.
So that is brawn and athletics, please.
Cool. What's the difficulty?
I'm going to say 4. This was even though he was monologuing, everyone was caught pretty flat-footed. It's not like you're all standing in a line, you know?
Yeah. 2 failure, 2 threat. I have nothing in athletics, and my brawn is 1. So there was little to no chance.
You turn to start to sprint towards him, but unfortunately you get caught in your dramatic Sith cloak and stumble, falling into the Gronk droid. Who just yells, "Gronk!" And the 2 of you collapse together. And as you kind of struggle up to your knees, you just see a bright blue flash of a lightning gun shot, of a fork gun shot, and you see it punch through Nix's chest. And he just kind of looks at it for a moment, and then he turns to Vic because he's closest and just says, "Mr. Denbar, I don't feel so good." And then managing to just lock eyes with you one last time, Brash, and smile, he turns to ash.
Vic scoops up some of the ash in his hands, still scrambling to get aboard, and just kind of yells "Maybe we can save him!" as he climbs up. And I think Brash...
Suck up the ash.
Brash stops where he is on the ramp, and he just reaches down and he pulls the cloak off. Mm-hmm. So there's just naked, except for UFC shorts style Brash, and he undoes his top knot and he throws the thing to the ground so the hair is down around him. So he looks vaguely like Cristiano Ronaldo meets a UFC fighter meets the girl from The Grudge. And then it's just, he does that raising the hand and the lightsaber is down. And then he would like to start walking towards Serpentos and force lightning him. Because I think he's never had more rage/fear than he does right now.
Brash, you can hear kind of in the back of your head Palpatine's voice. But right now, you don't need it. You just feel the rage and the frustration, not only of kind of having finally found intimacy and lost it, But of this whole fucking escapade, just from the betrayal of Xanatos to the inability to put together a criminal enterprise to finding Nyx, losing Nyx, or like Nyx almost dying earlier, like all of this just flows through you. And with it comes Force Lightning as the strength of your latent Force abilities merges with the rage you feel, and your will for destruction is made manifest by the lightning that sort of erupts from your fingers as you channel all of that emotion through the Force into Serpentos Ultra Magnus. Serpentos, this was not what you signed up for. I think the idea of the Force has always been kind of I mean, it in your experience particularly, I think is like sort of a weird low-level grifter hitman. Like just it's like Han Solo thinks about it. It's just a completely absurd concept. And it's almost embarrassing and childish that anyone would think there's some kind of magic space wizard that can just be around. And yet, here's the proof made manifest. So, Ryan, I'm going to get you to roll. I looked up the rules for the Force. They involve Force die, which we haven't been using because we've been using the Edge of the Empire system, which is pretty Force agnostic. Basically, the way Fantasy Flight did it was they broke the game down into... So there's Edge of the Empire, which is like smugglers. There's Age of Rebellion, which is like rebels versus imps. And then there's Force...
The Force book.
There's Force and Destiny, which is like, here's how to play Jedi. They're all very similar, and they all use the same base system, but it is a completely additional rule set that we just don't have. So I'm going to kind of run a hybrid version of it, but...
Homebrew away, sir.
For those of you listening at home, there's a whole book about this that's out of print now, so get it now. Do it. Okay, so Ryan, we're going to say... it is, because it's a ranged attack, it is a... he's close enough to you that this is going to be a 2 purple.
Okay.
You're going to be using your willpower. And then I think we'll say willpower and ranged light. I know ranged light is normally an agility-based thing, but fuck it.
I've used presence for Force stuff before. Or
it could be
whatever you're looking for.
It could be presence, it could be discipline, or it could be ranged light. Or, sorry, no. It will still be willpower, I think, in this instance, rather than presence.
Okay.
I know we used presence for earlier checks, but in this particular instance, it is just, can I exert my will strongly enough?
Cool.
Yeah.
Do I get any boost dice from Nyx's death?
You get to shoot Force Lightning from Nyx's death, sir.
All right, I'll take it.
But I will give you 1 boost dice for, in a lot of ways, taking out the emotional rage is what's fueling the lightning. But also Serpentos is a very convenient avatar of like everything that you were scared of in Wakka, and bring all that to bear. So yeah, I'll give you 1 boost dice. I'm also going to give you a setback dice because you've never done this before and you don't really know how to aim.
Cool.
Cool. So go ahead and roll that.
1 advantage.
Okay. So Serpentos, you are going to take 5 points of damage. Your
Jesus.
What is your soak value?
Oh, 4.
Okay, so you'll take 1 point of damage.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. Okay.
The lightning begins to arc across your armor, and your robotic limbs begin to rapidly, sort of like twist and undulate. The wiring has been so patchwork that this is unfortunately a bit of a nightmare for you. Brash, my question for you: do you think you would stay here to finish this? The ship is starting to take off. Or would you go
I
with
think
them?
he's too angry to not. Like, I think he's almost doing the reverse of a Serpentos monologue now, which is just like, I've tried to keep everyone alive. I tried to build something. I've saved your life multiple times. And in the end, what I get is nothing. So I don't need to be good. And I don't need to live. The only thing I want to know before I die is that you die first.
Okay, so you continue to just channel force lightning into him and begin to walk towards him. Vic and N-Gage, which of you would be piloting the ship?
Vic would be pretty keen to get out of here.
Okay, so N-Gage, you see this happening, and you see Brash stalking down the ramp as the ship begins to lift up. Do you try and stop him? Do you join him? What do you do?
I was gung-ho about leaving, but seeing that we're so close to putting out the flame that is Serpentos, I join. And also, I see that there is a very good-looking laser sword at the ready, and I'm just looking at that laser sword, looking at Serpentos' head, looking back at the laser sword, looking back at Serpentos' head. This goes on like at least for 20 seconds.
Okay, do you try and grab the lightsaber?
I think that would scare. I think
Brash does look
think
very, very
Yeah.
concentrated on the lightning right now.
right, but I think Brash might also just like. I think the lightning might just crackle back at me and short my circuits.
If you get too close? Okay.
If I get too close to him, and he's just as likely to like slap me out, just out of pure angry instinct. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and I want to grasp that, but from far away. So I'm just gonna I want to somehow propel his arm while he's using one of his arms to shoot the force lightning. I just want to give him encouragement to propel his lightsaber and smash it in Serpentos' skull. So I'm just going to say, hey, buddy, I got your back there, feller. Let's ace this witch. And I get my little disruptor. I have a disruptor pistol, which I realize I have, and I don't think I've ever used it.
You have not.
You just made up weapons.
So as I'm like, I've improvised. So I'm like, get him in the skull with the sword. I'm gonna loosen him up a bit. And so I come around, I'm avoiding the lightning, and I'm just trying to basically do you remember that Dragon Ball Z where they're fighting Cell?
All of them are like that. Oh, okay.
No, but they're fighting Cell, right? And I'm Vegeta, and Brash is Gohan shooting his Kamehameha. And so I'm going to
Hey, hold on. You need a dead dad because Goku helps power Gohan. Where's your dead dad, N-Gage?
Well, he's got a dead son.
I was going to say,
I got a dead son.
Fonzie.
His son died, so he's his own dead dad, according to Fonzie's rules of who a dad is.
So then like a ghost Wakka kind of like puts his hand on your shoulder?
Yes.
You're imagining it. You're just like you see this perfect body that you sculpted for Wakka, and what it's become. Although admittedly, you built Serpentos to be this, and then you just realized you hated Serpentos. Wakka was a nice bonus.
I thought I could change things. I was very wrong.
All right.
Open fire. I open fire. I use my disruptor pistol to try and give Brash the opening to thrust his sword.
Okay, so given that we're in full crazy fight mode now, I need everyone to. We're still going to go ahead with this, and then we're going to fall into an initiative order. So we'll roll initiative in a moment. Adam, what is Serpentos's? Does he have a defense rating? On your sheet, should be in the top right corner.
I don't. You know what the it's not showing up. I can't tell what that number is. Sorry, I did.
Okay,
do you have the paper with you,
I
or?
don't. It's around, but okay. I'm going to go ahead and say it's 2. So basically, for ranged attacks moving forward against Serpentos, you'll have to add 2 setback dice, which is just purely from his armor, given that he's like a Galvatron walking weapon Mandalorian type fella. So, Guy, you're using a pistol. You're kind of at mid-range, so I'm going to say this is a 3 purple.
Okay.
2 black from the armor.
Oh, shit.
1 boost, so 1 blue from the 1 point of advantage that Ryan got moving forward, which is, of course, just it's harder to dodge bullets when you're being force lightninged. And then for you, sir, I need your ranged light and your agility.
Okay. My agility is 2.
Mm-hmm.
Ranged light is 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that will be 1 yellow and 1 green.
Yeah. And what? 1 yellow and 1 green. And what is the?
Also, for the purposes of this fight, I'm going to shift. God help us all. I'm going to shift how force points work, given that I actually don't have a character to roll anymore. Adam, since you're the antagonist of this bout, I'm going to give you access to my points. Guy and Ryan, you'll have access to the light side points.
Cool. We have none right now, right? It's all Adam?
I am going to call this a fresh round and roll, just because I don't want to leave you completely.
Way.
Sorry, could I also just? So I have 1 green, 1 yellow, 3 purple.
1
black.
blue, 2 black.
Wait, 1 blue, 2 black.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm just seeing if you have any story points you can use. Give me 1 moment. Come on, app. All right, there we go. Jesus. Okay, and roll them bones.
Okay, here goes.
Okay, there are 5 light side points and 2 dark side points to kick things off.
So you can use one of those to make your green a yellow if you want. Dear guy.
Is that the wise thing to do? Turn my green into a yellow?
Yes, your odds are bad right now.
Okay. 2 yellow.
Okay.
No green. Here goes. Disruptor gun. Fuck. Yeah. 2 advantages, 2 failures.
Okay. Oh boy.
Does it grab his attention at least so he's so he like loses his grip on Brash?
Here's what I think I need to know. Tyler, you can hear this kerfuffle happening. Two Cups is like, fucking go! Do you think you would just like fucking hit the gas, or would you wait until you know, like you're getting like the you know that seatbelt alarm, like a bing 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 from the ramp still being down? This is a weird but appropriate kind of end game question. How much do you care about Brash and N-Gage? And or how much do you need them when you get to Agrippa?
Well, a fair bit. But it's a little frustrating, you know. I think at all of this kind of going on, Vic kind of pilots the ship to do like a clumsy sort of 180, so it's facing this fight. And on like a loudspeaker, he just declares like, "Am I the only one interested in rescuing my parents?"
Okay. Cool. So you can just loudspeaker that without turning, for the sake of narrative. I want to keep them facing each other, or just like everyone just shuffle steps to make sure they're still lined up. Okay, so Guy, your disruptor pistol explodes in your hand. You haven't used it in a long time, and its coils are a little bit rusty. So the pistol, like you go to fire it, and it just like explodes.
God damn it!
But it is a fairly big distraction. So Serpentos, in trying to dodge what you assumed would be, because disruptors are like pretty much as bad as your fork gun. Like you get hit by one of those fuckers, you're done. So you kind of like throw yourself to the ground, and then the gun explodes in his hand. So we'll say that's what your advantage bought you, Guy. The failure caused your gun to explode. Serpentos. Does anyone answer Vic? I feel like no one does, but
No.
Oh.
great.
We're all fighting to the death. He's yelling about his parents. We don't care.
Cool. Okay, Serpentos, you're being force lightninged. You're on the ground, but you can still shoot from the ground, although your guns are starting to malfunction, and you can feel your joints beginning to seize as the lightning starts to fuse them together. What do you do?
Okay, so hear me out.
Oh boy.
Everyone will remember I got that intellect upgrade,
You did.
right? So I'm at 3 intellect. So I'm pretty smart.
Intellect.
Intellect. It's
Intellect.
Yeah, I threw in the word galaxy as well.
It didn't increase his charm or presence, though. So
Base.
Yeah. So I'm going to say that through, we're going to jump back into the past here. So through my relationship with Shatterstar and just kind of moseying around the ship and noticing things, I notice that Brash is talking to this lightsaber, and using my intellect and a destiny point, if this doesn't work, I kind of put 2 and 2 together and realize, wait a minute, he's talking to like the Emperor who's dead, and and that's how he's getting his power. And then that's where I come up with my secret plan that I'm going to take the lightsaber and use that to become powerful. So as I'm on the ground being like shocked, I call out to the Emperor and I go, Emperor Palpatine, I seek an audience with you. You once showed me an army, the possibilities of grandeur and glory. Speak with me. I have an offer that will make you and I more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
And then as Brash continues to force lightning you, Brash, you aren't even hearing Palpatine. You're just monologuing about all the frustrations in your life. Serpentos, in your head, you're like, okay, I'm listening. You really spoke my language with that more powerful than you could possibly imagine thing. It's kind of my jam, you know. It's kind of my deal.
Okay, yeah. And then I'm like, excellent. Let me ask you, why are you siding yourself with Brash when you could side yourself with me, the only person that can give you the one thing that you don't have?
What's that?
A body.
Interesting.
Join with me. Use the crystal inside your lightsaber and put it in my head, and we will become, as I said, more powerful than you could possibly imagine, and transmorph into a new intergalactic space being and rule the cosmos.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check there, sir.
All right.
We'll say this is negotiation.
Do we all hear this going on, by the way?
No, this is just in his head.
We hear Adam's side of the yelling. We just don't hear the Emperor.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, wait, Adam, are you thinking it or yelling it? I feel like Serpentos yells more than he thinks.
I think we established I don't have an inner monologue, so
It's
I
an
think
outer
I'm,
monologue.
I think I'd be yelling it.
So we're all listening to this shit. And
Yeah. I'm sorry. You said I am rolling a.
There isn't really coercion. We'll go with coercion. So it's will and coercion.
Oh, okay. My coercion is 2.
Okay.
My willpower
Yeah.
is also 2.
Okay, so that's 2 yellow.
Yeah. And is that destiny point that I want to throw in there? Do any kind of, and I brace, and I brace hard on the ground as I speak with him, and I have a destiny point.
Okay, you'll gain 1 green for the destiny point.
Ooh, okay.
Ryan, what's your will?
My willpower is 2.
2. Okay, so this is going to be a 3 purple check for you there, Adam.
Yar. Okay.
Ryan, I assume you want to use a...
I will spend a point to make one of those
So
red.
one of
Yes.
those purple becomes red.
So 2 purple, 1 red.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a boost dice for correctly identifying something the Emperor legitimately wants.
So a blue.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. 1 green, 2 yellow, 2 purple, 1 red, 1 blue. Here we go. And I'm really convincing when I'm saying it. So 2 advantages, 2 failures.
Interesting. Okay. So, Brash, you're hearing this conversation. Is there anything you try and say to the Emperor?
I think I want to see how he plays it out.
He just says, hey, there's an old Sith trick I care about quite a bit. It's called dramatic irony. He says he wants the crystal from this lightsaber in his head. I say we oblige.
But not literally.
And I think all you see is just a Force jump hero stab down at his head, if I can, with the
I was thinking more like a toss.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with that. Whatever
great.
it takes.
So you whip
jeez.
you whip the lightsaber, and Serpentos, the last thing you see is your dream coming true, as yet again a lightsaber pierces the small metallic disc in your forehead, and plunges deep into your brain. And that is when Vic hits the gas and the ship shudders and begins to fly off. Darth Jedi, you try and recall the blade, but Serpentos is holding it in his forehead as he struggles to the ground. To your surprise, though, the Force lightning is still going. And it would seem that whatever you've unlocked within yourself is no longer tied to the blade. And with that, the ship takes off, leaving dear sweet Serpentos to his doom. And Brash, the last thing you see as the kind of ramp comes up to a close is Serpentos' hands soften, fall away from the blade, and he slumps over.
Does my soak value have any help here? Or-
Actually, man, if you'd braced, you would have been fine.
I did.
So, with that, with Serpentos being left in the dust along with the fated blade, our heroes have a date with destiny, and the now three of you, plus your spice-addicted Gungan companion, your chef, your Trojan Gronk, and a pile of ash that used to be your pal Nyx, head to settle a score with Agrippa.
This episode of Dumb, Scum, and Villainy features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Adam McNamara at Adam McNamara 13 on Twitter, Guy Bradford at Guy Bradford on Twitter, and our fantastic Game Master Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode was edited by Ryan LaPlante, and all of Dum Dums and Dice's art is by Decapitated Markers at Decapitated Marker on Twitter. That's MRKR. Our theme song is In Orbit by Chronox, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Now get out of my shop. I'm a Toydarian. Your Jedi mind tricks do not work on me. Dum Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christian Menicola, Long, the Half-Blind Prophet, James Cuellar, DM Rob, Christopher Little, Joshua White, Olin Anderson, Sue One, Devin Boyce, George Dolby, One True Artistry, Anthony Griffin, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.